If we just take a step away from the government and we look at how businesses look at their income and loss statement, the way it works is you take your revenue minus your expenses, and this equals your profit. But the government is similar but a little bit different because the government is not looking to make a profit. The government is not a for-profit entity, and they don't sell anything to make a revenue. The way that the government works is they get tax dollars from taxpayers. So you go to work to make money and the government is going to tax your income, or you're going to go out and buy something and the government is now going to tax your purchase. Maybe you get a sales tax, maybe they get a property tax, but the government doesn't get a revenue. Instead, they get taxes when you spend money or when you earn money. So you earn money, you pay taxes, and then the government has their expenses. And then if there's any money left over, this is what's called a surplus. However, a government has not been running a surplus, it's been running a deficit, which means that the government has bigger expenses than they do actual tax income. So if the government is spending more money than it brings in, well, it's got to cover that cost from somewhere. Well, this is where the government works with the Federal Reserve Bank, again, which has the ability to print money, and the Fed can then give this money to the government in the form of a loan, or in this case, it's actually in the form of a treasury bond. So the Fed creates money out of thin air, gives it to the government, and now the government can spend way more money than it brings in. This is what allows the government to do a lot of things, because when the government spends money, somebody has to pay for it. Either you're going to pay for it in the form of taxes, or if you don't pay for it in the form of taxes, you're going to pay for it in the form of inflation, which ends up being a hidden tax. So if the government wants to pay off everybody's student loans, or they want to pay off your credit card debt, or they want to pay off your mortgages, they can do that. But there's a cost to that. Somebody has to pay for this cost. Either they can raise your taxes to fund this payment, or if they don't raise their taxes, they can cut their costs, they can cut their expenses, they can cut Social Security, they can cut different entitlement and welfare programs, they can cut whatever. Or if they don't want to do either of those two things, they can just print this money with the help of the Federal Reserve Bank and give out money to people. But there is a cost here, because if there wasn't a cost to doing that, what is stopping the government from printing $1 million per person in the United States and just handing it out? If everybody was given $1 million in the United States, do you think everybody would be able to drive a Ferrari? Would everybody be able to have a Lambo? Would everybody be able to have a mansion? No, there's a reason why even if the government was able to send out $1 million to everybody, not everybody can suddenly be rich. Because now there's a cost to this money printing. It creates inflation, which means that the value or buying power of each individual dollar goes down. So while that sounds nice that the government's going to do this and this and this and this, somebody has to pay for it. And if the government doesn't have the money to pay for its expenses, then the person who pays the price is the person who doesn't understand how inflation works. And the fourth entity that can create inflation is the Federal Reserve Bank, which is the entity that I've been talking about. And although the Federal Reserve Bank is called the Federal Reserve Bank, they are not federal. It even says so on their website. They're not a reserve. They don't keep cash reserves anywhere, and they're not a bank. You and I can't go there to deposit money. However, they have the ability to control our monetary supply, our money system, and the way they can do that is by two things. They can do this through quantitative easing, aka money printing, or they can do this through controlling and managing interest rates. So with quantitative easing, the Fed has the ability to print money essentially on command. So if the government wants to spend $4 trillion on whatever they want to spend it on, it doesn't really matter. If the government wants to spend $4 trillion they don't have, they can call up the Fed, and then the Fed can use this quantitative easing power, aka money printing power, to print money out of thin air. Remember, they don't have a reserve anywhere of cash, so the Fed prints this money out of thin air, they give it to the government. Now the government has increased their deficit. They have just spent $4 trillion that they don't have, because now the government can spend this money. And now, again, somebody has to pay for it. Who pays for it? Well, the people that don't understand money, the people who don't understand inflation, and it's the financially uneducated, and typically it's the poor and the middle class, because the wealthy who understand how the system works are going to be adjusting how they use their money. That way they can benefit from the inflation. So the Fed can create this sort of quantitative easing to create more inflation, to help the government spend whatever money that they want, or the Fed can also adjust interest rates, which affects inflation, because now if the Fed cuts interest rates, that makes borrowing money cheaper. And what does that do? Well, it increases how much money the bank is going to lend out. If we go back to the fractional reserve banking system that I just talked about a couple minutes ago, Well, if it's cheaper to borrow money, more and more people are going to be interested in borrowing money, and that means more money is going to be going out for people to buy homes, for people to buy cars, for people to spend money on their credit cards, and this creates a boom in the economic system in the short run. However, it increases inflation. So let me tie this whole video together. When the Fed influences interest rates, they will impact this and this. When the Fed wants to stimulate, aka inflate an economy, what they can do is they can cut interest rates. When they cut interest rates like we saw happen in 2020, when they cut interest rates like we saw happen in the 2008 crash, when they cut interest rates like we saw happen in the 2000/2001 dot-com boom, what happened? Well, people saw, oh my God, I can go and get a mortgage at a cheaper interest rates. More and more people started going out and buying homes. More and more people started going out and buying cars. More and more people started going out and spending money with money they didn't have, thanks to a credit-based system, thanks to the help of our fractional reserve banking system, which allowed our economy to boom in the short term, but it created inflation. And so over the years, we saw more and more inflation start to build up. Today, we're really seeing the price of that, but that was due to the inflation caused by this. So the Fed can adjust this to affect this and this. Now we're facing a time where we're really facing the price of inflation. And now the Fed is not working to decrease interest rates. They're working to increase interest rates to pull money out of the system. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the shorter clip from the longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And if you're interested in learning more about how to invest your money in the stock market, our team put together an amazing guide that'll walk you through how to invest your money in the stock market, what the stock market is, different stock market strategies, and how to build wealth in the stock market. This guide is completely free when you sign up for our daily newsletter. So if you want to read this guide, all you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.